Hello and welcome to another episode of Study of X, the bi-weekly X-Men podcast where we talk about the Krakoan age of X-Men comics. I am your host, Tim, and with me as always is Sergio.
Hi, hello. It's been a while since we last recorded, but I'm back full of energy and the will to talk about X-Men.
And Chris.
Unfortunately, Sergio stole all of that energy from me. I am instead very tired, but also still have the energy to talk about X-Men, because when would I not? I love talking about the X-Men.
Yeah.
It's the guys.
Cool. It's the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And some girls. Plenty of girls, actually. Yeah.
Are they having a good time? Questionable. Is it a new era? Yes.
I feel like most of them are having a good time.
Some of them are having a good time. It's like...
Cable not so much, but like... He's the exception, I feel.
Yeah. You know who's having a good time? Joshua.
Yes.
But we'll get to that.
That man is having a great time, honestly.
But you know who's having a bad time? Wolfsbane. And that's where our issue starts off.
Look,
yes.
Teens often have a bad time.
This is true. Wolfsbane, I actually don't know how old she is right now, because she and her group were always teens, air quotes, and I feel like they're one of those groups that just, like, don't age.
I'm gonna say, like, 20s at this point. I don't know what part of 20s they're in. Oh, also, I know it's literally the episode title, but the issues we're covering this week are New Mutants number 17 and Cable 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Just in case you didn't read and you have us on autoplay, which is awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to start out with New Mutants number 17, Follow the White Rabbit. This is still written by Vita Ayala and was released back in April of 2021. And as Tim said, Wolfsbane's just having a really bad time. If you remember from last time, we just found out that her son, Tyr, is actually still alive. She believed he was dead and had been for some time, and isn't taking that news really well.
Yeah, she's also, like, her support system is gone right now. She came home and was looking for Danny and Karma, who had both had to go on a trip to Otherworld, so she's just kind of alone. And in this vulnerable position is when the Shadow King finds her.
Yes. Is he the best person to go and find her, considering they have been enemies for a while? At first I'd tell you no, but this actually goes kind of okay. So much so that I'm a little suspicious about his intentions.
Oh, no, I think the idea is that it's suspicious. I think he is approaching her in a state that he knows is vulnerable. And he comes at it from a shockingly reasonable perspective. I think this is intentional on his part. I don't think it's Shadow King being a good guy.
Yeah, I'm just questioning, what is it that he wants from this in the end?
Yeah, I feel like his position in this story has been well established through his previous appearances, so it's pretty much impossible to read this as anything but, grooming or hiding his real intentions behind these well-considered words.
Yeah. And yeah, he comes into this with, like, it's platitudes. He's relating to her, and he gives this story about his father, how, that was kind of like his rock, his, like, person that he could rely on. And he lost that when he needed it the most. He was alone.
Mm-hmm. And he can sense that same sort of anguish, not only in her, but also some of the children around the island. And because of what he went through with, the Shadow King and that being attached to him, he wants to help those kids not fall into the same trap that he did.
Yeah. Krakoa was for all mutants. He wants to be there for all mutants, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And offers and says he wants Wolfsbane to help him with this.
Yeah, because she, having also had all of this trauma, still knows how to help people throughout all of it, and the Shadow King doesn't. So while he can point out which person is struggling, he can't actually really help them.
Yeah.
So, and that's where we leave the two off, as Wolfsbane seems to at least agree to go with him to see some of these kids that need help.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't imagine this is going to end well, but we'll see. We're kind of done with that plot line for this issue.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's very interesting that he is immediately involving her, considering they have been enemies and she's going to be on guard. So it seems weird to just bring her into whatever plot he's planning right here.
Again, I think it's like intentional. Like he found her in a state where she was vulnerable, where she didn't have her support system. He was there to be a support system. It's very intentioned.
Yeah.
Sergio, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like it's a little underbaked, but I'm kind of interested on the stuff about, Krakoa being for everyone. We're going to see this theme come back on the next issue, I think with a little bit more substance, but still in a way that leaves me wanting more. So I'll point out that later.
Yeah. We get a data page here. A pact with His Excellency Merlin, ruler of the Holy Republic of Fae. It's just kind of like a letter. We got some thumb seals here.
Essentially, Danny and Karma, because they have been accused of crimes, the normal punishment for that would just be death, but Merlin actually needs something. It seems his daughter Regina stole something from him, and these mutants can have mercy and even release if they go and take it back for him.
Yeah. Also, he calls them the witch breed blasphemers, and man, this Merlin is a dick.
Yeah, he is not a good guy.
No. So yeah, we're off to do that. We're off in the floating kingdom of Roma Regina, where everything is kind of upside down until it stops being upside down.
Yep, it's really cool. I like it.
Moonstar makes a giant monster thing. It's like a dream giant monster thing. It's not real, but she has it go try to pretend to attack people. You see one of the soldiers, and just a really stupid joke says 2 arms, and it's a 6-arm monster. So someone said, "I thought you said it had 2 arms."
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay. I didn't catch that
the
the first
one.
time for some reason, but
it got a chuckle out of me.
Yeah. I was like, that's dumb. But no, it actually has 2 heads, not 2 arms. But yeah, Moonstar and Karma managed to sneak their way into the palace. There's a white rabbit there.
Mm-hmm.
He's back.
Yep, and this last time they saw him, this white rabbit led them right to Merlin. So maybe following him is not a good idea, but Karma just has a gut instinct of maybe we should. Maybe it's something from you, Danny, and this is where we're supposed to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, they follow the white rabbit, and it leads them directly into a bunch of soldiers.
Yep. Again, problems.
Yeah.
I find it very funny. This is going to be a revelation for later. But I find it incredibly funny how they're following a white rabbit, and this is called following the white rabbit or something along those lines. And then we find out later that this is a reference to the rabbit in the moon and not Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. It's just a different story. We just didn't quite get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Please notice that he has no watch, I guess.
Yeah. His clothes are very different than what you would expect.
Completely distinct from the Alice in Wonderland white rabbit.
Yeah, it's just a different one. So yeah, a fight breaks out.
Mm-hmm. Not a very, long one. They win pretty easily. And finding some of the stuff that King Jaime gave them, they find an invisibility potion, drink it, and are able to escape pretty much scot-free.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we kind of cut to the soldiers who are just trying to battle this thing that isn't actually real, and they're just confused. And eventually somebody finds a thing on the ground, and they conclude, these are witch breed.
I like how the candle is somehow the giveaway that this is mutant magic of some kind.
Yeah.
It makes me think
meanwhile,
King Jaime has done this a couple of times and just sent people on weird quests and given them truth candles. But
yeah. Meanwhile, back in Krakoa, the kids are still up to no good.
They're curious,
Yeah, they're doing this body switching thing, but now they're seeing if they can they switch Rainbow with a flower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not another person this time. And as well, the Shadow King is not involved. This time it's just No Girl and Cosmar. So they have moved on without him, at least a little bit.
Yeah. And yeah, the flower's getting a little bit hot, and then eventually wilts, and they realize it's not working.
Sort of. It does work. Rainbow does mention that he felt things. He could feel the sun. He could feel Anol's skin and pain from where he was plucked. But that's it. Nothing else special or fun happened. He couldn't move. He couldn't really interact with anything.
Yeah. And was like, yeah, I think I was trying to photosynthesize, but I couldn't actually do that because I was dead. And he's like, yeah, I wonder if it's because it's like an inanimate object. Everybody else like real taken aback by this revelation and thinks he's like onto something. I feel like it was a little obvious. Like, yeah, he's a flower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the flower's not going to suddenly start moving like Rainbow. But,
yeah.
His comment about maybe if we find an inanimate body, that could be something we could play with.
Yeah, and like possibly a mutant body even. I wonder who has those.
Yeah. It's almost as if a plot device may have been introduced recently, which can be utilized at this moment. Yeah. I also find it really funny how the little panel we get for No Girls and Cosmar synergy is like super specific. It says consciousness exchange mutant to flower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. that's our mutant circuit there.
Which I love the specificity of.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back in Otherworld, Moonstar and Karma have entered a treasure room.
Mm-hmm.
They rag on Jamie a little bit before quickly realizing, hey, I've read enough fairy tales. We should not touch anything here except for the thing we're trying to get.
Oh yeah, no. I feel like everybody has seen the Disney movie Aladdin at this point. You touch nothing.
Yeah, you just walk right past it. Mm-hmm. That will curse you in some way. It's not good.
So they quickly find the object that they have been sent to get. It is this blue little teapot. And as they go to grab it, our friend Regina shows up with the light of truth, using that witchbreed candle to basically cancel the illusions that both of them have.
Yeah. Moonstar quickly appeals to her, just asking, like, hey, can you hear us out? And she's just like, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, I guess.
And yeah, she just kind of tells him the truth, and yeah, it kind of works.
Yes.
Yeah, this goes really well.
Yeah, we get a little bit of hostility where she kind of threatens Karma a little bit, and Moonstar gets very impassioned. It's just like, hey, I didn't want to do this. We got stuck in the dungeon. We're trying to rescue our boy. And, like, Merlin says this is here. We just want to finish the damn, like, mission and be done with this. And she's, like, conjuring up these, like, illusions in the backgrounds of, like, her friends.
Mm-hmm.
As well as the monster thing while she's doing it. It's pretty cool looking. I like the art here, like, quite a bit.
Yeah. Cool magic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, Roma hears this plea and is like, yeah, sure, here, take the pot.
Yeah, it was nice entertainment, and she's also extremely impressed that Danny is able to, as she says, manifest the truth of another being who is caged is very impressive, as she pets the white rabbit.
Yeah. She asks them what they're called, and also Moonstar says, like, hey, can you stop calling us witchbreed? It's rude.
Mm-hmm. And before they go, Danny does ask, what is this blue pot? Is it some kind of, very dangerous magical object? Some sort of power? And Regina, in her guards, just laugh. She mentioned that it's just a piece of pottery that her dad liked, and she knew it would bother him if she took it.
Yeah. It's just a nonsense spat.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, she even admits, like, yeah, if you just asked me for it, I would have given it back. I didn't care about this thing.
Yeah. So, kind of shows you a lot more about Merlin as well. Definitely like a crotchety old man.
Yeah, and she also is like, yeah, I'm not really doing this, like, just for free either. The thing I'm getting here, you're going to give me a favor. I'll call you at some point. You're going to be out. No questions asked.
Yeah. She does teleport them to where they want to be, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does, save a lot of travel time, as we're going to see.
Yeah.
This arc, this little mini arc, I guess you could call it, with these two in Otherworld, really feels like it could have been stretched across multiple issues. if they really wanted to, but the fact that they didn't is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it's like it kind of makes up the bulk of these issues too, so I don't think it's exactly like rushed either. It just happens a little bit quicker than you would expect.
Yeah, but if another writer did want to say, hey, turn this into a whole like long 10-issue arc, there's plenty of space you could do that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back on Krakoa, Anoli goes to visit Gabby.
At the Kinney residence. Current occupants are 2, as Laura currently is sort of back from the vault, not quite. We'll get into that. But he goes there just to check and see how Scout is doing, and also to ask a question. But before we get to that, I think this is our first introduction of our good boy Jonathan.
Yeah. This is the number 2 here, Gabby and Jonathan. He's a little Wolverine.
And that's why
that's what he is.
Yeah. He's great. She ended up finding him and keeping him when she, I believe, stopped an animal testing facility, if I remember that arc correctly.
Yeah, it was something like that.
But yes, the 2 have been together for a while, and that's also why Scout has been called Honey Badger before, too. So it goes back and forth. But Jonathan is a staple. He's wonderful. He's very sassy.
Yeah, I love him. He's great. The place is a mess, and Anoli's here to ask for a favor. He's asking about that boneyard thing that X Factor has going up and running. Not the body farm they got there.
Because your brother Dakin, he's there. You've been over there before. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, and he kind of explains like, we've been like, changing consciousnesses, like we're just playing around with that, having some fun. Yeah, you think you could hook us up with one of those bodies?
And
as one does.
As one does.
Polite.
Yeah.
The kids at least thought through, well, we can't just do it to another person and like invade their consciousness. These ones don't have a consciousness. Clearly that makes it ethical and okay.
Yeah, they're dead. We can't use husk. Those are for resurrection. They wouldn't let us have one. But you could sneak us in. We could get some of these bodies here. And Gabby's like, no, there's ethical concerns here. Jonathan is like also emoting while she's doing this, which I think is very funny. And yeah, Anoli does not really react the best here. He reacts pretty negatively.
Yes, and this has been a through line with them, and especially Cosmar, that I never picked up on the first time through. I think that's because I didn't really know the original Morlocks as much, where, they lived in the sewers of New York City because they were mutants, like a Knoll, who can't pass as normal. And that's what his blow up here is about. And he says, you don't get it. Even though we're here on Krakoa, people still stare. People still kind of look at him a little too long and look at him funny because he still doesn't look human.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the whole thing with the group. Like, no girl is no girl, and then you got Cosmar and Rainbow. None of them are, like, really the most human in design. So he kind of throws back, like, yeah, you look human. You don't really get this.
It's definitely a different kind of, I don't want to say self-doubt, but it's like a being aware of your body in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like Chris said, a through line ever since that early issue with Cosmar asking to be part of the Crucible.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like showing or showcasing the ways in which, or the lengths they're willing to go in order to get a more human-looking body.
Yeah, it's like some mutant angst, and it's like just kind of paired with some like teen kind of body dysmorphia. It's pretty good. I like this quite a bit.
And I think it also engages with, again, the fallacy of the Krakoa is for everyone or for all mutants kind of statement, and how, the ways in which actual material reality or societal expectations still act upon these people.
Yeah.
In a way that, does not guarantee that. Or there's still inequality amongst the mutants who live in Krakoa based on appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a plot line that I'm enjoying more than I thought I would.
And yeah, Gabby, as he's kind of walking away, because Gabby kind of says like, "Oh well, I can, just because I can hide my claws doesn't mean I don't know what it feels like to not have like control of my body." And Noel just says like, "That's not the same," and she kind of just fires back with like, I'm sorry that people made you think you aren't beautiful like I think you are." And like, we're here to be ourselves. And yeah, it doesn't really seem to really strike a chord with him, and that's kind of the end of that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, speaking of being themselves, we cut back to Otherworld, where Joshua is meeting on the roof with just someone from Selvath, which is the vampire world.
Mm-hmm. Good segue, very good segue. That's a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, the Kingdom of Blood and Darkness here. Our boy Jonathan, looking absolutely spectacular on his medieval journey, is looking to get into the
Joshua.
Sorry, Joshua. Thank you.
Although, like, if this was Jonathan, that would be very funny.
That also would be very funny.
Yeah.
But he is making a deal with a vampire here to tour the historical archives of Sevalith. And because of Regina's spell, Danny and Karma are now here and are pretty much ready to attack the vampire.
Yeah, it looks like they stumbled upon, like, a drug deal.
Yes.
And, yeah, so they come in, like, the bow's drawn, ready to throw down with this guy. And then, like, you kind of get a little bit more of their reactions, or their interactions between these two, and you're like, oh, wait, no, these guys are just friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's hanging out in the top of this, like, skyscraper, the middle of the rad vampire cyberpunk city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It rules. I love this.
Yeah.
I would also like to stay here.
Yeah. So yeah, the vampire here is like, are they all like, are all the witch breed this intense? And he's like, just call us mutants, and he just apologizes, and we move on. I love that little interaction between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Joshua is like, yeah, there's been a misunderstanding. I have not been turned into a vampire.
Look, no bites.
And there's like, what did you just give him? And he's just like, just some stuff I got from like Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it gives you what you need at the moment. It's pretty cool. And yeah, Karma shines the light of truth. He's telling the truth here.
Yeah, and there's going to be a bit of back and forth, some explanations here. I do think it's funny that Joshua does have to explain that, yeah, no, we're hunted where we're from, and the vampire says that's monstrous.
Yeah. There's a very funny line here, too, like immediately, where Moonstar's like, yeah, your friends are worried about you. We're here to take you home. And the vampire just kind of fires back with like, well, that's judgmental. I'm his friend. Like, yeah,
the one of the best and most like upstanding people in this conversation, besides Joshua, is the vampire.
Yeah. He even asked him at one point. He's just like, "Do you want me to like stay?"
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just like, "No, dude, I got this."
Yeah, you're good. You're good. We'll catch up later.
Yeah, and so they again just tell him like, "Hey, you're gonna come home," and he's like, "No, I'm happy."
Yes.
And they're like, "Okay, you can't stay here. There's no backup." And he's like, "Okay."
Yes, and gives actually a very good point here.
Yeah. And yeah, he kind of goes into his backstory here. He grew up in Jersey. My family was liberal, but until like I actually developed mutant powers, and like he's one of these mutants that definitely has a distinct design. He's got horns. He's blue. He manifested. His father kicked him out if he couldn't change back, which he couldn't. Lived in the woods. Got the Jersey Devil rumor started back up again. And even in Krakoa, and it kind of comes back to that through line the other mutants we're talking about, he still didn't feel right. They're so used to being persecuted, they pushed it the wrong direction. And, like, everybody's going too hard at being special, but he just wants to be him.
Mm-hmm.
And here in, like, Selvath, he just can be, or Otherworld in general, nobody cares that he's, like, a blue guy with horns. And, like, also, this is some Dungeons and Dragons shit. This rules. What do you mean? I was like, and he's like, and also, like, we can just die. Like, that's okay. That's how life normally works.
Mm-hmm. And, I appreciate Danny's look here. Of she's starting to get it, but she looks kind of sad because I feel like she knows what he's going to say when she asks, "Well, what about immortality?" And
Yeah.
yeah, he has a point. This is a new thing for them. He always figured he was going to die one day. So why should that suddenly change?
Yeah. Like, just because he's out here in D&D land, that doesn't really, like... That's just back to what his status quo was before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is all pretty good. Pretty great conversation. I wish that we got more about when he says they're also used to being persecuted, that they push things too far in the opposite direction, going hard at being special. And I wish we got a little more in terms of what he meant by that, but I think it's a way more interesting direction than what we've seen. Like earlier when I said I was interested in what the Shadow King was saying about Krakoa not really being for all mutants, and the point that we just discussed with the people who are uncomfortable about their bodies or the way their bodies are perceived. This seems like a really interesting place that, or a really interesting method through which he's able to resolve those feelings by being in a place that feels more right to him.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, I would like to see this point elaborated a little bit from someone who managed to reach a satisfying conclusion to their search for, a better place than Krakoa, a place where they feel they fit better.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really interesting direction.
Yeah, I like this.
We're pushing things too far in the opposite direction. What does he mean by that, I wonder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, speculation because he doesn't say. But I'm wondering if you could even tie that back into some of the team building they were doing for the kids and teens, which is use your mutant powers together to just see what happens. And it sounds like there's just a big focus on, well, use your mutant powers, see what happens, try new things, always work to be better, 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 better. Whereas, Joshua here just kind of wants to live his life. He doesn't want to do anything special.
Yeah, it's almost this like focus on like individualism, where like here it's like there's not really that at all.
Yes.
He can just be.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I like this arc quite a bit. I think this conclusion is very interesting. I agree. I would also like to hang out in like the cool vampire nation. Like this looks sick.
Yes.
And yeah, the Moonstar and Karma hearing this, they do kind of just accept it. Like we don't like it, but we get it. You've made your point. And he's like, yeah, I'll check in every few months if that's cool. I'll bring gifts. I also decided I'm going to map out Otherworld, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
And he's got like these little instant gates to Avalon, so he can kind of go back whenever. And also they can get them out. And Moonstar says, okay, and I'll come embarrass you in front of your friends. She hugs him. They leave on good terms. He says thank you as they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really like overall what they've done with Otherworld in New Mutants. After all, I was a little hesitant to have Otherworld stuff bleed into this series, but I think it's come to a decent place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the conclusion here was pretty good. And yeah, anyway, we get a new data page here. We got a journal entry from Warpath.
Yep, just, more answering of questions that he's doing here. There's quite a lot of it, but really, some of the important stuff we need to note here is that he mentioned that Warlock is ignoring Doug and is hanging out with other people, which has been the complete opposite of how Krakoa has been for Doug and Warlock.
Yeah, so, again, like it's very much like your friend got married, what do you do now type deal.
Yes.
Yeah, so Warlock has kind of been avoiding Doug because of that and has been following around others and imitating the way they move and speak. He's not mocking them, he gets that. And he's developing a sense of humor, but it's annoying to Warpath. He doesn't like that he's doing this. He's trying to find his identity, but it bothers him. And he feels like who he is as a person would like confront him normally. He doesn't feel like that's what he needs right now. Like he's like, well, I don't know if that's what's best for him while he's exploring himself. So he isn't doing that, and that frustrates him because he can't actually get rid of this problem.
Mm-hmm. Warpath, a solid choice for helping the kids.
Yeah.
So,
but I do want to talk about this first question also. To write down all the compliments you can remember you received, just because there's some that's kind of funny. Domino just tells him he looks nice in his uniform. Wolverine told him that he throws him better than anybody else in the fastball special, and Silver Samurai is like, yeah, you got good knife work, kid.
It is. It's cute.
Yeah.
So, but I can talk about this more much later. Once we get closer to Inferno, which is another event farther in the future. But, it wasn't that long ago. I believe it was Giant Size Nightcrawler, I think, that we come to Doug explaining to someone that, oh yeah, no, Warlock has been here the whole time. He's been a secret. And this is now a complete opposite change of that, where at first it was, no, nobody's supposed to know, and now Warlock's just kind of on his own, doing his own thing. Yes, Doug did get married, and I do think that's kind of what this is sort of poking at and playing at, but that is still a really big narrative shift for the two, in a way that doesn't feel like it should warrant that, especially with how much secrecy had been going on with them for so long.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. It's definitely like a neat little plot thread right now. But yeah, meanwhile, we cut back to Krakoa. Moonstar and Karma are now home.
Yep, Wolfsbane is nowhere to be seen, but that's okay, because these two do need to decompress, and they really need to discuss what they've just went through. And really, more importantly, this white rabbit that keeps manifesting.
Yeah. And they're kind of talking about it a little bit and realize that Moonstar's kind of manifesting something that's in her.
Not in Moonstar, but in Karma.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah.
And
specifically her brother. Her and her brother Tran were obsessed with fairy tales growing up. His favorite was about the rabbit on the moon. And yeah, she gets the little candle of truth thing and shines it on him, and yeah, that's her brother.
Mm-hmm. And I spoke about him just a little bit. It was a while ago when we first met Cosmar and all those nightmares were happening, because Karma has one about her parents and her brother, so I kind of briefly mentioned him, but I'll explain him again here. So, Tran and Karma were both introduced in Marvel Team-Up number 100 in 1980. He is Karma's twin brother and also a mutant with a very similar power set of mental control, just like her. Both of them were born in Vietnam, and eventually her brother Tran worked for the employ of a general that helped him run a criminal empire in the U.S., because of this, Tran became kind of cold and callous over time, so when Karma did track him down to stop him, which the two of them, in order for that to happen, controlled both Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four kind of like puppets, so instead of them having to fight, it was those two groups. She eventually, towards the end of it, because he was going to make one of the heroes kill another, she forcefully did have to absorb his life force into herself in order to stop him. So ever since that point, his soul has been trapped in hers. Now, there has been some back and forth where it's argued that when Karma went a little evil at one point, it was Tran's soul taking over hers, and at one point they did interrogate his soul, but she had to take it back. It's been a thing for a while. But what all of this comes down to is Karma, once she realizes this is her brother, then blows out the candle and asks Danny, "Will you be my partner in the Crucible?"
Yep.
So we can very clearly guess where that is going. Is, she will die, her and her brother will then be finally properly separated, and hopefully things go better.
Yeah, this was a good issue.
Yeah, no,
it felt
very good.
Very long to me. there's a lot
Yeah.
going on, but I think everything got like enough space to breathe. It's not like anything feels particularly rushed. But I still was like constantly asking myself, when is this going to end when I was reading it? Because it felt a little bit too long.
Vita goes very hard on the dialogue.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes every issue feel a lot longer than it is. She very much uses that page count.
Yes,
And all of the data pages are also pretty verbose.
Yes,
I agree with that. So yeah, it does make the issues feel a lot meatier than you would expect from these.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, it's like there was a lot that happened in this issue, but yeah, I didn't feel like really rushed at all. It was just, it felt very long because it was just that every time you turn a page, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Yes,
Yeah.
although I will say I do think this one is done better than Children of the Atom so far, which they're also writing. Where Children of the Atom, when I see the big blobs of text, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll read it. But here it's like, well, no, it's servicing something, it's explaining something, it keeps everything going. I'm never dreading having to read another text box.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we head into some issues that don't really have that problem?
Yes, because
I
Gary,
was just thinking.
yeah, Gary Duggan
Yeah.
does not usually write a lot of text-heavy stuff, which I think is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Starting off our Cable duo, this is Cable number 9, Bargaining. Again, written by Gary Duggan and was released back in March of 2021. And we're going to open up here on an AIM nuclear submarine that was detected off the coast of Krakoa.
First, I want to talk about this little quote on the first page because it's very relevant to what we're going to get from the issue. It's someone just at the Green Lagoon. It's an anonymous patron that's just saying, Cable, everybody was scared of the old man. Nobody is scared of the kid. It's very clear that Krakow as a whole does not view him, or like just the world as a whole does not view him like they did his other self.
Yeah, his older self also does a lot of heavy lifting because he's got that gruff, angry old man look.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as a kid, he's not that scary.
Yeah. But yeah, nuclear submarine.
Mm-hmm. Our fun, evil scientists in their yellow getup. They're walking through here, and we pretty quickly learn that Esme and Cable have decided to have a fun side quest and are disguised as some of the scientists as they go through and sabotage the submarine.
Yeah. They do pretty good. They make pretty quick work of the submarine, and then they get out and swim back up to the surface. They do a little quick make out in the water.
Emma is, oh boy, she's worried about her daughter just a bit. She's in over her head.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, Cyclops walks up and just says like, yeah, it's probably good that we intercepted them and not Magneto and Polaris.
Yes.
We got to have a fun little adventure.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
the kids come back up, they says they changed all the passwords. They, did a couple of other things. Again, it's just fun.
Yeah, AIM will probably stay away from us for a little bit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cable goes off to talk to Emma about the favor he asked for. And yeah, she talked about it. We don't know where Strife is.
Nope.
And it's interesting that you're asking me and not like the Omega telepath under your own roof.
Yeah, and this is going to be, a thing for young Cable. Because Emma even asked Charles to check, and Charles didn't find anything. And
Yeah.
instead, Cable has an idea and says, hey, let Esme know I have to run, and instead dives off the boat to start swimming back to Krakoa.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He says, apologize to Esme for me, and then dives off the ship and starts swimming back. Emma looks at Esme and says he would rather throw himself into the ocean than be with you right now. And it's
Oh,
like,
boy.
yeah, wow. Like,
That is a bad statement, my dude.
yeah.
Uh-huh. He ain't wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
she ain't wrong.
she's not, honestly, and that's the sad part.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, then we get Cable's wacky misadventures to solve this case on his own.
Yes, it doesn't say where this is. I believe it's Madripoor, if I had to guess.
It's vaguely Asian. It's something called the Electric Tiger. This is absolutely Madripoor. Wolverine's in his patch disguise.
Mhm.
Just trying to keep a low profile. He's meeting with some guy. They're trying to figure out who's been blackmailing the royal family, and then Cable sits down and he's like, Logan!
You're hard to find. I need help.
Yeah, this is really hard getting in here. Had to go around the back. And like
it's
Wolverine realized he just got made. He's like, oh, are you kidding me?
It's a fun little bit. I like it. And, the owner of the bar and the henchmen come in, and Wolverine is just like, hey, I can help you, but you need to point out a track for me to follow. I can't help you find the track. So come get me when you have something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Logan takes it really well, all things considered.
He's got to fight now. It's typical Wolverine stuff, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm. And he gets to blow off the steam, beating up these guys instead of beating up Cable.
It's very funny. He's just sitting here like trying to keep a low profile, and he starts like talking to him about like, hey, I'm trying to find this Strife guy. You know how you can help me out with that? And it's just like, yep, okay, cover's blown.
Uh-huh.
But hey, we were talking about them last time, and now they're here. We're at the boneyard.
Yeah.
So again, instead of going to Jean, Cable instead goes to Rachel and asks if, maybe she can find Strife if he's here. And she says she can't find anything, which maybe he has good psi shields, which possible, or he's off planet. But, it really seems like he's not here. And Cable kind of breaks down a little bit, saying, hey, I've tried killing Strife, I've tried mind-wiping him, I have tried ignoring him, but he keeps showing up, and he has these babies, and I don't know why, and I need to figure that out.
Yeah, and Rachel's like, a while ago, demons used to need mutant babies to cast a spell. Maybe you could, find someone that does demon stuff. And he's like, oh, I know just the person. And finds Magic, who is currently beating up some kids.
But this time mutually and not beating up bullies. She's trying to teach the kids how to fight a little better. And after she knocks one down, she helps them back up, says, this is what you should do better. And instead says, yeah, you know what, Cable? Follow me. Let's step into my office, which is Limbo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love the nonchalantness of bringing up the fact that Magic is the queen of Limbo is just always very funny to me, especially after she does something rather mundane.
Yeah, and I kind of like the mundaneness of Limbo too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a day at the office. I'm like just clocking into work real quick. Gotta go check on a prisoner.
Mm-hmm. It seems like his name is Anaster.
Yeah. They weren't expecting her, but surprise inspection. So they're here to see the prisoner.
Mm-hmm. And they walk into the room, and this giant red horse-headed demon is, chained to some stone pillars, and comes in and says, "Hey, you know what? You've been awful, but hey, it's only been a century. Maybe I'll let you out soon. But before that, how about you help my friend here? Do you know where someone is?"
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, please tell me. I'll tell you whatever you want. And he's like, I'm looking for this guy called Strife. And he's like, nope, don't know who that is, but I'll tell you whatever you want if you can get me out of here. And he's like, yeah, that's dead end.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, okay, get back to work. And we see what the torture is, and it's a bunch of demons playing like recorders and kazoos. And it seems to be they seem to be playing "I'm Gonna Be" by the Reclaimers.
Yes.
The Proclaimers, yeah.
This is torture, man.
Which is
This is
great.
a pretty bad one.
Especially considering he's been in here for 100 years, so it had to have been a different song at one point. Or,
No.
Or this was
I
always
want
a
to
Limbo
believe.
song.
I want to believe it's constantly just "I'm gonna walk 500 miles." Like
This was invented in Limbo.
Yes.
ba-da-ba.
It leaked out of it.
Yes. But
Yeah.
I do like these cute little demons and their little kazoos. They're having such a good time.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot I really like about this. When like Magic kind of like walks up to the cave, she just enters with one of the dudes, the big guards of a club, is just like, "Sup, boss," and she just responds with, "Sup, Norm." And it's like, yeah, I'm cool with this. Like,
Mm-hmm. I love this view of Limbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this whole conceit for this part of the story with Cable just going from person to person, trying to figure out how to track down Strife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's getting more and more desperate as time goes on, and we're gonna see how desperate he gets.
Yeah. It's just constant dead ends. He's very much like trying to do this himself. This is his, like, he feels like it's his responsibility. The old man would probably be able to do this. So he wants to get it done, but is just running into roadblock after roadblock. Just nothing turns up anything. And yeah, he says he has another alley to go down, and he goes to the Wild Hunt to go visit Wildside.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen Wildside before, back when they had to save Cosmar. You know, he's back again. And Cable does what he feels is probably the most dramatic thing, and he comes out of the river that Wildside is drinking out of. And
oh yeah, it's a very funny entrance.
Yeah, it's very funny. And immediately goes on the offensive because Wildside has worked with Strife quite a lot. So if there would be someone to know where he is, this is not a bad lead to go down.
He immediately goes into interrogation mode, just be like, tell me what you know about this guy. And he's like, yeah, maybe I am working for him. And then also goes on the offense, just swipes the gun out of his hand, and we're fighting now.
Yep. And, the two go at it for a bit, and Cable, is fighting back because Strife is technically him, but a much worse version. So he's fighting self-doubt and all of that. And before Cable is able to actually really hurt him, thankfully someone steps in.
There's an interesting kind of bit here, too. Wildside just fires back with, it's for all mutants, right? Maybe even Strife. He's you, right? And Cable does not take this well. It's very much something that's, he just yells back, he's nothing like me.
Yeah.
And someone's here. He gets punched a lot. And he gets knocked out. It's Hope.
It's Hope. She's here, taking a break from her, duties as part of the Five. And just as a reminder, because not often talked about, but Hope is Cable's daughter. So this makes this very awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured this out by context, but I didn't know who she was.
Got it. Yeah. No, that is Cable's daughter, and because Cable is like a teenager at this point, that's just a little odd. But hey, you know what? She's here to help, and even though maybe she likes the old man, maybe not, it's still Cable at the end of the day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I find this whole idea pretty interesting, especially thinking about the issues we read relatively recently on... was it X-Force with Quentin?
Yeah.
Who was also kind of tormenting himself, right? About who he was and his identity and the reputation that he had developed and so on, which is interesting to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Cable's is less... It's weird because it's not as much self-loathing as much as like this old guy, the older version of him built this reputation and he can't live up to that. He's not that guy yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he thought he fixed this already. He thought he killed Strife when he was replacing Cable for the first time. And he also just admits yeah, I've been kind of on a downward spiral since the Otherworld tournament. Things have not been going my way. And I'm going to need your help. If we're gonna do what we need to be done. And Hope is yeah, we can't resurrect Dupes. We can't bring him back. And he's yeah, we both need him back. And it's...
Yes, but in a fun roundabout way where he says, hey, yes, we need the other guy back. I know you can't bring back Dupes, but we can just time travel and go find him because he is alive out there at some point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then we get a data page here about duplicates.
Yes, the problem...
Which is something we really kind of already knew.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this kind of lays it out more thoroughly.
We can't do duplicates except in situations where it's mutant gifts. We can bring back the cuckoos. We can bring back multiple man if some of his dupes survived, because those are his, powers.
Yes. I do think it's interesting that it started out as just duplicates, but because X-Men history is so weird, they had to extend it to clones, time-lost variants, and other things, and alternate dimensions also.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because everything is complicated when you have a story going on for this long.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Cable number 10.
Yep, that's where it ends, and it pretty much just picks right back up here in Cable number 10, called Depression. This one came out in April of 2021, and we see also where Cable, his desperation leads, because he is out here at night in Krakoa, all decked out, to go and attack Professor Xavier's home.
I also, again, want to draw attention to this quote here. More important than how you kill Cable is when you kill Cable. Ancient strife proverb from the future, which I just is very funny.
I think this encapsulates what I like about the X-Men so well. I really love this little quote here.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's silly, it's fun. It gives you some really fun ideas of how things work, but, there it is.
But yeah, Cable is decked out. He's gonna go attack Charles. He's gonna get Cerebro. He's getting ready to throw a grenade, and Emma's like, you probably shouldn't do that.
Uh-huh.
Please don't throw a grenade at his house. And he's like, oh, it's just some knockout gas. I was gonna just, knock him out.
Yes, I'm sure knockout gas would have worked against Professor Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
I think nothing to the contrary, to be
honest.
honest.
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't work.
Fair. Maybe if it was someone else, but with Cable's run of luck, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. And yep, so Emma says, okay, just show me what's going on. He lets her in on strife and says, like, it's a problem. Emma's like, okay, yeah, that's serious. And then we get a little bit of vulnerability here from Cable. He's upset about that this is happening and wants to just ask the question of, like, why did Apocalypse do this?
Yeah, and Emma, brings it back to him is, well, why does Apocalypse do anything? And it's to make you stronger. That has always been his driving principle. And as Emma correctly points out, you are from an extraordinary family. Your dad is Cyclops, your mother is Jean. There's Rachel, there's Hope. Everybody there is an incredible mutant that everybody knows. And, you're Cable. Something had to turn you into the person that you were.
And she suggests, like, maybe go talk to your family. And so Cable just says thanks, and then asks, like, hey, is Esme mad? And she's just like, yeah.
She's pissed.
There's a very funny bit here. Cable just kind of just says, like, okay, that's one more problem as the page kind of ends. And then you see Xavier just walk out from the balcony of the tree that he's in and just says, hello.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's a good little gag.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Cyclops is getting fitted for his Hellfire Gala clothes by Jumbo.
Mm-hmm. That is definitely still coming along. And as that happens, Cable arrives and says he really wants to speak to his dad. He's got something important to say.
Yeah, which is good, because he wanted to talk to Cable as well. Yeah, Cable, you need to get fitted for your gala clothes.
Yes, that's coming up. Come on, you gotta look nice.
Yeah. And he just got a message from Emma, and he's like, okay, yeah, what you say? And he's like, oh, we gotta go to London, come on.
There's some problems with the neighbors.
Yeah, the Iraqi are making some noise.
I think in a very fun way, honestly.
Yeah. So, they show up to some police officers who are not willing to help. Cable uses some psychic powers to make them look like cops, so they can go in now.
Mm-hmm. Same gag. So funny.
Yeah. He's like, okay, yeah, so just be careful here. We don't want to get, like, too comfortable doing whammies on humans. And he's like, yeah, but, lives are at stake. It's just kind of a little banter between the two. It's pretty nice. And yeah, so some Iraqi mutants are making some trouble. They just really like being in England, just making some, just hanging out in the bars, causing trouble.
There is one little thing about the banter I did want to point out. Scott kind of grabs his son's shoulder for a moment and just says, "Hey, by the way, I wanted you to know that about the X-Men election coming up. If you want to put your name in, go for it. Don't be shy."
I think you would be great for the team. Like that would be a good fit for you. I think you're like, it's your moment, man. Go for it. And like, this is just gut wrenching for Cable.
Yeah, who is struggling to find one of his evil clones who stole 5 babies.
Well, not just that. The idea I think he has here is like, I'm going to get the old man to replace me.
Oh yes, that as well. Yeah, that is a good point, because, we're going to see that play out. So, but picking up from where Tim left off, Cable says, "Hey, we'll talk about my thing later." And we find these 2 Iraqi mutants in the bar. We have Castor and Pollux, these 2 Iraqi women who have not trashed the bar, but clearly beaten the piss out of somebody and is just taking a lot of drinks.
Yeah, I love this little, like, cute little banter between them. Castor says, "Piss off, Krakowans," and then, like, are we saying that correctly, old man? Piss off. They're just taking the dialogue from the British bar.
Mm-hmm. We're learning the ways of this island. That phrase is how they issue challenge.
Yeah.
So, very, very fun. Cyclops tries to get them to leave, but no, that's not gonna happen. So, Cable breaks the bottle that I believe this is Castor has, and a fight immediately breaks out.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of them is a Zionist. The other one's just big.
Yes. Big and very strong, because she charges right at Cyclops, crashes him through the window and back outside.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Cable and Cyclops are kind of having a psychic discussion here. Cyclops picks up on exactly what he's laying down. He's like, "No, that's not happening." Yeah.
Nathan, we need you here and now. And Cable instead says, "Hey, I came back here because I thought it would, bring, it was my job. That's what I was supposed to do. I sent you and the original 5 back to the future." It sounds like there was some time nonsense going on. And now he thinks he really needs to do the same and play everything out in the future as it's supposed to.
Yeah, Cable was, just to be clear, one of the reasons he traveled back was because you had a time-displaced version of the original 5 1960s X-Men that, Cable was like, "No, they gotta go back in time," and he killed the old man because he wasn't doing that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And yeah, I think it's very, I feel like the fact that he hasn't been there that long, and Cyclops very clearly views this relationship pretty strongly. I think it's like kind of adorable seeing that, like how Cyclops is kind of clearly fallen into like the father role with this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes sense a lot. Like, this is his kid. It's his time displaced kid who he's never really gotten at an age where he's been a kid before.
Yes. So it makes sense that there's a lot of resistance to him having to go back, period.
Yeah. And yeah, Cable just keeps saying, like, I have to solve this. Like, there's, like, this is just, I have this pit in my stomach. This is bad. He's kidnapping babies. Like, I can't do this, but he can.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the fight continues.
It's very funny how they have this whole conversation while they're fighting.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very good. They're just multitasking. Cyclops blasts a motorcycle.
Yes, and blasts Castor in the face. We see the beam go out into the skyline, which is great, before Castor is thrown into the wall. And all of the people along the side start clapping. Like, yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, Cable shoots Pollock in the leg. And yeah, she just says, like, "You fight dirty, I like that." And yeah, we're done here.
Mm-hmm. Somehow one leg shot takes her out. I'm going to go with poisoned rounds or something, because that doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I haven't been shot in the leg, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Cable just says like our discussion's not over, and he's like, yeah, I'm proposing, like, yeah, we're not talking about this. Like, I'm proposing you join the X-Men, and you want to go back to the dystopian future. I don't want that to happen. And Cyclops just really puts on the father like shoes here and is just like, no, like, your time is right now. You deserve to be here. His day is done.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we get a data page here.
Yep. So this is kind of an
We get a Wikipedia entry.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get an explanation of things that happened when old Cable died. Some things pretty much automatically went into place, and these were called the casket protocols. One of them was giving his body to Deadpool, where we had that whole fun thing that he was, made into a table. That was great. But there are some other things that young Cable doesn't actually know about or fully understand. Like the locks and booby traps on all of Old Man Cable's safe houses being fully deactivated, so if he wanted to, he could go to any of those and get all of the weapons there. And there's also something a lot more important in space. There is a secret space station that has weapons full from the Second Armor Wars, which the first Armor Wars is basically a war using Iron Man armors. And there was never an Armor War 2, as that was in the year 3030. So Cable brought those back into this timeline, left them in space, and that is now fully safe to enter. But young Cable doesn't know it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And yeah, the first Hellfire, it just says like the first Hellfire Gala of the Krakoan Age is days away, and Cable's not discovered any of his safe houses or Green Mountain Station. And like the AI is up there just kind of watching, like, okay, well, is he gonna come up here? And it's very interesting. Like he's like hitting all these dead ends, and it's just like, yeah, there's stuff out there he could be discovering, but he isn't that guy, so he doesn't know where that stuff is.
Yeah. So, an interesting setup. Definitely shows that this is not the end for young Cable here, but it really depends on what he's gonna do.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back in the dystopian future here, old Cable, who is being attacked by some demons who want to have a chat. He's also playing possum like the one mutant Cable just fought, and he pulls out the Light of Galador. I love that he also just has this sword, cuts off one of the demons' heads, and yeah, he's back in the fight.
Yep. So what's going on? Still a big question mark as to when he is or where he is. We now know demons are involved, so maybe that's something Strife is doing? I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly, maybe we'll figure it out at some point, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Plenty of fishes to go.
Yes, plenty
actually,
being...
there's only 2 of them.
Yes, plenty being 2.
Yes.
Yeah, Cable does not have long left, unfortunately.
Ah, well, alas.
Yeah. Speaking of not long left, next episode we will be doing Children of the Atom number 3, Excalibur number 20, in the penultimate issue of X-Men number 20.
Yay! I'm very excited about that one. I'm excited about all of them, honestly, but I love it when we get back to X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a fun one, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very excited about that. And we have the Hellfire Gala that's coming up in a couple of episodes. We've got so much stuff coming up. I'm so excited.
A couple of episodes. I think we have like 6 until we get there still.
It's like a couple. You know, if you're listening to this in the future, then it's pretty quick to get to. If you're listening to this as it comes out, yeah, that's going to be...
Yeah, like 3 months.
Like 3 months? Okay, maybe I do take it back. Either way, it's coming along. We're not going to be able to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be the episode. Do we have any thoughts on this?
It was good. Really big contrast between the 2 series we checked out today, mostly because of one being extremely verbose and feeling like maybe 3 issues in one, and this one being really on the light side, but still really well executed, I thought.
Yeah. I really like Cable. I think this series was like almost like a little bit underrated when it was coming out. I think it's very fun, very snappy. I think Kid Cable very much earns his keep as far as just like as a character goes. Krakoa kind of goes a long way in making him like very likable.
Yeah, because if I understand it, Kid Cable is relatively new at this point in time.
Yeah, he had been introduced like not long before Krakoa, and was not exactly well liked, I think, in his introduction. Like, it was a little bit of a spicy introduction.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I can see it coming in and killing the long-standing version of the character that you like for now a teenager. I could see people not taking that well.
It's a teenager who's like kind of a shit, so it's
Yes.
like, man, what the heck is this? And then like, as you kind of get to know him a little bit with like the Krakoa stuff, it's just like, no, he's just kind of a little dork.
Yeah. He likes the big sword because it's a big sword. He wants to be cool like his old self, but he can't quite do it. He doesn't want to go crying to his parents to get some help. You know, he's a little dork.
Yeah. Just a kid trying to figure stuff out.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyone want to plug anything?
Yes, we do have several plugs, so let me get my spiel. So, if you have listened to us this far, thank you so much for listening, and if you could leave us a review on your podcasting app of choice, that would be great. It helps us get out there and find other people who can listen and read along to this wonderful era of comic books.
Please like and review us on iTunes, specifically Apple Podcasts. That's not iTunes. I don't think it's been called that for like years. Yeah, that's the stuff that really helps. Please give us 5 stars. Talking to you, Bill.
Ooh, okay, another call out. Is it really not called iTunes anymore, or is that just for the podcasts?
Yeah, I think iTunes is like dead.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, I haven't used an Apple phone in a long time, so that's news to me.
I guess not. I think it's still like the media player. Let me see. Is it still alive? I thought they just like hard changed it to like Apple Music or whatever.
Maybe I vaguely remember that. But let me finish the spiel, and then you can give me the answer.
Okay.
So, again, a review would be great, Bill. We're talking to you. Or if you would like to follow us on social media, you can do so. That's where we post our reading lists, clips from the issues that we're reading, as well as any articles or something that we use to help us, make these episodes. You can find us on Blue Sky and on Tumblr. On both, it is Study of X, and both of them have the same things posted on them. Also, if you would like to send us a message, maybe mention something that we missed, or a correction, or perhaps just a little joke, you can send it to studyofx@gmail.com, and Tim might just read it here on the podcast. Now, before I go to individual social medias, Tim, did you find the answer?
So they are phasing it out, but it hasn't been quite phased out yet. It seems like they're just putting it as like music, TV, and podcast, but the iTunes store still exists.
Okay. I don't know why you would phase that out. That's like a very well-known thing. It's like changing the name of Twitter. A very stupid idea.
Yeah, you would think.
But hey, I use Android products, so, I'm a little biased. But if you would like to follow us on social media, you can find me on Blue Sky at Sonics, that is SAWNEEKS. I have been posting about Monster Hunter, because that came out, and I would say it is consuming my life, but I did go out of town for a week right after it came out, so it hasn't done it fully. But I did beat the story in a weekend, so, judge that as you will. It's a great game. I highly recommend it. And, Sergio, if they are looking for you because they wish to know the source of an ancient proverb from the future, where can they find you to ask?
Vampire Cyberpunk City.
Ooh, okay, very cool. Do they also need to trade something for that information?
No, it's fine. Everyone's friendly here.
Okay, cool.
Probably the most tourist-friendly city I've ever been to.
That's actually a little surprising, but maybe I'm being judgmental about vampires.
Maybe you should check your biases.
I should. And Tim, if they're looking for you because they would like some advice on how to handle the Shadow King and his weird turn, he seems kinda good now, where can they find you to ask?
Vampire Cyberpunk. city, just in the same place. It's cool. I don't
We're
know
hanging
what to
out
tell
actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
you guys are
we're-
hanging
We're in
out?
this. Yeah, we're in this
literally,
like.
literally
little
doing this
cafe.
podcast next to each other.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Oh man, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Can I come over next time and be able to do that?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they make the greatest profiteroles here.
It's
Ooh.
great. It's good stuff.
Okay. I will.
I can see some croissants on the like display. This looks yummy.
Okay. I will book my ticket and I'll get there as soon as I can.
Great.
All right. Well, until next time. Later, mutants.
Bye.
Bye.